Okay, guys, before I even start this one, turn the lights down low, grab something to hold on to, and make sure you're not alone in the house. Because what I'm about to tell you actually happened to me and 3 other nurses on the night shift at St. Mary's Hospital in Detroit back in 2018. And every single one of us quit within a week after that night. No 2-week notice. We just walked out and never went back. But hey, real quick, before we dive in, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell because I've got way more stories like this coming, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss the next one. All right, deep breath. So I'm Sarah Miller, RN. I'd been working nights on the 4th floor medical surgical unit for about 4 years at that point. 4th floor was old school. Long, dim hallways, those heavy fire doors that slam shut behind you, and patient rooms that still had the original 1950s tile. The place always felt off, but night shift nurses get used to off. You learn to ignore the random call lights that go off when nobody pressed them, the footsteps when you're supposedly the only one on the wing, whatever. You just chart it as equipment malfunction and keep moving. That night, it was me, Jenna, my best friend from nursing school, Mike, big ex-military guy who could lift a patient like it was nothing, and Emily, the new grad who was still scared of her own shadow. We had 28 patients between the 4 of us, pretty normal census. The charge nurse, Lisa, was floating somewhere on another floor, so it was basically just us. It started around 2:17 a.m. I remember the exact time because I was charting when the overhead lights in the east hallway flickered 3 times and then went out completely. Not dimmed, out. Pitch black. The backup lights kicked in, but they're those weak red exit signs, so the whole corridor looked like a dark room. I radioed to engineering. They said they'd send someone up. No big deal. Happens all the time. But then Jenna walked out of room 412 and just froze in the doorway. I saw her from the nurses' station. She was staring down the hallway toward the old isolation wing that's been closed since the 90s. The door to that wing is always locked, chained, big red biohazard sign on it. Jenna's face went completely white. She whispered into the walkie, "Sarah, there's someone standing at the end of the hall." I laughed at first. "Girl, it's the shadow from the vending machine. Come help me with Mr. Thompson's IV." "No," she said, voice shaking. "It's not a shadow. It's a person in a gown, and they're just staring." Mike grabbed a flashlight, and we all walked down together. Nothing. Empty hallway. The isolation wing door still chained shut. Jenna swore up and down she saw a patient just standing there, head down, no IV pole, no telemetry, nothing. We told her she was just tired. Classic night shift hallucination. We went back to work. 20 minutes later, the call bell for room 408 rang. Room 408 had been empty all night, discharged that afternoon, not readmitted yet. I checked the board twice, empty, but the light was blinking like crazy. I answered it from the station. 408, how can I help you? Silence. Then the tiniest voice, like a little kid trying to whisper through a tracheostomy. "I'm cold. Can you close the window?" My blood turned to ice. There's no window in 408. It's an interior room. Hasn't had a window since they renovated in 2003. Mike heard it too. He looked at me and mouthed, "What the hell?" We both walked down there together. Door was cracked open. We pushed it all the way. Bed stripped, mattress bare, no patient, no call bell cord even plugged into the wall. But the light was still going off above the door. I unplugged the whole system, reset it at the station. Light finally stopped. That should have been our sign to call security or the house supervisor. But you know how it is. Short-staffed, nobody wants to be that nurse who cries ghost. 3:45 a.m. now. Emily radios, freaking out. She's in 415 with Mrs. Carter, sweet 92-year-old dementia lady. Emily says Mrs. Carter suddenly sat straight up in bed, eyes wide open, and started talking to someone in the corner, not just mumbling, full sentences. She keeps saying, "Don't take him yet. He's not ready. Please, he's only 7." Then she looked right at me and said, "Nurse, tell him to stop dragging the children. They scream so loud when they drag them." Emily was crying. I ran in there. Mrs. Carter was back asleep, snoring softly. No corner person, no nothing. Mike and I started joking, nervous joking, to keep from losing it. Okay, the 4th floor is just haunted, whatever, let's get through report and go home. But then we heard it. Dragging. Slow, wet dragging down the east hallway, like something heavy being pulled across the tile by its ankles. Thump, scrape, thump, scrape, coming from the isolation wing. We all froze at the nurse's station. Jenna grabbed my arm so hard it bruised it. The dragging stopped right outside the double doors that separate the main hall from the old isolation wing. Dead silence for maybe 10 seconds. Then, a little boy's voice, clear as day, right on the other side of the door. "Nurse, I fell out of bed again." Mike, big, tough, 250-pound Mike, went pale and took one step back. I've never seen him scared of anything. I grabbed the master key with shaking hands because what if it really was a kid? What if a psych patient wandered up somehow? I unlocked the chain, pushed the door open just a crack. Empty. Dark. Dust floating in the flashlight beam. Old gurneys lined up like skeletons. But there were wet footprints. Small ones. Bare feet. Leading away from the door and down toward the old pediatric isolation rooms that haven't been used since the polio days. We locked it back up, called security. They came, searched the whole wing, top to bottom. Nothing. No footprints when they looked. Gone, like they evaporated. We tried to finish the shift. We really did. At 5:12 a.m., the fire alarms went off, but only on 4th floor. Strobes flashing, sirens screaming. We evacuated patients into the hallways with blankets and oxygen tanks. The fire department showed up, searched everywhere. No fire, no smoke. They reset the system. That's when Jenna found the note. It was taped under the nurse's station keyboard. Just a torn piece of paper from an old MAR sheet, medication administration record, written in red crayon, shaky kid handwriting. "Thank you for letting us out. We won't bother you anymore tonight. But the night isn't over for you." Underneath, in different handwriting, smaller, adult, almost elegant, "They always forget to check room 401. Room 401 was empty for 2 days. Patient died there Monday morning, code blue, massive MI, body already picked up by the funeral home." We all stared at each other. Nobody wanted to go look, but we had to. Mike and I walked down together. Door was closed. Nameplate still said Johnson, Robert, DNR. We pushed it open. The bed was made perfectly. Military corners, not hospital tucked, actual tight corners like someone was taught in the army. And sitting on the pillow was a little red crayon. That was it. We lost it. Jenna started screaming. Emily threw up in the trash can. Mike punched the wall so hard he broke his hand. We called the supervisor, told her we were clocking out effective immediately. She tried to talk us down. "You'll lose your licenses. You can't just abandon patients." But we didn't care. Security escorted us out while we cried like babies. Later, way later, we pieced some things together. Back in 1959, there was a fire in the pediatric isolation wing. Faulty oxygen tank exploded, killed 7 kids and 2 nurses. The official report said all bodies were recovered, but old newspaper articles say one little boy, Tommy Whitaker, age 7, was never found. They assumed he was incinerated completely. And room 401? That was the old nurse's break room back then. They converted it to a patient room in the 80s. We all quit, moved, changed our numbers. Jenna's in California now. Emily became a teacher. Mike won't even talk about it. And me? I can't drive past St. Mary's anymore. I'd take the long way everywhere. Sometimes at 3 a.m., my call bell, the one I keep unplugged in my closet, starts going off. I never answer it, and I never, ever go back to check room 401. So yeah, that's why I'll never work night shift again. Sleep tight, guys.